Hey, it's Nekia Nichelle with Chicago Tribune, ChicagoNow.com. I have actor Clifton Powell here with me. How you doing, Clifton?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I am really good. So you're in Chicago. Tell the people a little bit about why you're here. I know why you're here, but why?
We're doing a play, LisaRaye, Carl Payne, Clifton Michelle, Sam Logan, Darren Henson, myself, called Married But Single.
Married but Single. That's such an interesting title.
Yeah, trust me. You want to come out and see this play. If you have any issues in your relationship with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, you definitely want to see this play.
Okay, and what's your character in this play?
I'm play a father. I play, I'm a father who's trying to reconnect with his son. Terrell Carter plays my son. Terrell Carter's in here. Maya Good is in here.
Yeah.
Lamaya,
yeah.
So we have some very poignant scenes, my son and I, about reconnecting and me not being there for him because I got caught up in my career, and it's real touching.
Now, Married but Single is such a tricky title because nowadays a lot of people are out here married and acting single because that's what the whole premise is, I'm gathering, right? As a married person or just being in this film, I don't know if you're married, but being in this, play.
I'm divorced.
Oh, you're divorced. Anything that you learned from the play that you could apply for your next relationship or give advice to others?
I lived in Hollywood for 25 years, and the divorce rate in Hollywood is 90%. So the only thing I can say is to build your friendship. I think that's the biggest mistake. I know I made, and my ex-wife said we should slow down and build our friendship, and you kind of get caught up and you rush, and I think that's the key. I think you have to really be friends, and then you have to learn to communicate and compromise all the time. Mm-hmm. And if you're not really ready to do that, I think it's going to be a tough journey.
Yeah, I know you've had a very long acting career. I mean, you've been around since I was a little girl.
Since Moses. I started with the Harriet Tubman Players in 1867. No, I'm joking.
But I know throughout your time you've done plays. I'm pretty sure as you were, going along in your acting career, that was one of the things. But why this play? Why did you choose this? What attracted you to this play?
Well, Jacarius and I have worked together once before, but his writing is wonderful, and the message in this show, trust me, if you have ever come to a show, we just left LA, and when I say 5 sold out shows in DC, 3 shows sold out in LA, it is the funniest, most poignant show that I've ever been in.
Really?
Probably since Man of Her Dreams, not Man of Her Dreams, Fabric of a Man with Dave Talk.
Okay.
Man of Her Dreams was a good play also, but this play has every ingredient. It has the music, it has the funny stuff, and the funny stuff is Carl. Wait till you see Carl Payne.
Oh, I know. Listen, here's a little tidbit about Carl Payne. So Carl and I worked on a project together here with a director named Christopher Nolan, and he was in a movie called Zodiac Sign.
Okay.
I was opposite of him, being like a little hoochie mama. He is hilarious. Let's just get to the point.
Carl Payne is a master, and I think people, when you see this show, it's not just funny. It's like fall down funny, and then there's some places where Terrell and I have some really great scenes that make you cry if you're going through anything with your dad, for females and men. And it's one of those shows that I think married couples can get a good kick out of,
right?
Because it talks about the dichotomy between being married. Sometimes married people want to be single people want to settle down, and we all trying to find that balance. And I think Carl's character is kind of like what I call a griot, the great griot, where he's the kind of like the chorus that keeps everybody moving because he was in love, but he don't mess with love no more.
Right.
But he understands what it takes to be in love, So this play really talks about, ultimately the kind of commitment it takes to really be in love. And it has a real nice twist in it. And I'm telling everybody, I will put my career on the line and say you'll love this play.
For
for real.
That's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Now, do you think from this play or just living life, do you ever think you'll get married again?
No.
Okay.
No, let me stop.
Okay. Well, dang. What if I was proposing? I'm kidding.
I made some classic mistakes before I got married. Again, my ex-wife said, we're moving so fast. We should build our friendship. And I always told my friends, when you marry, you should pick from your friends. So I think at this point in my life, it would have to be, I've grown, coming out of my divorce, I've grown mentally and spiritually. I've had, sometimes when you point fingers at others, there are three fingers pointing back at you. And it's not always easy for, I don't want to say for men, I think for people to take responsibility for what they brought to the show that they didn't do right, So I've had to take an assessment of my life as an entertainer. When you're on the move, like when I got to LA, I did 10 years in New York before I got to LA. So I had to do another 10 years before I could start working as an actor. So I was on such a grind and I never thought about all the dimensions of marriage and relationships. You just say, hey, I want to settle down, and it sounds great on paper, but when you're moving, I was gone 80% of the time. It's hard to build a marriage like that. So looking back on all of that, I think now I would be focused, I would be present. Like I never knew what the word present meant. I didn't know that means turn your cell phone off and just kind of like be here with the kids and eat. I was moving too much, so now I feel like if I did meet someone who was moving on a more spiritual plane, who's gentle, who's kind and considerate and compromising and all those things, then I could consider it.
Okay.
I
Well,
know that's a deep answer.
that was really
No, but I've been married. And,
Okay.
and I can say that, in order to really be happily married, I think spiritually you got to be yoked, and I think both people have to be very kind to each other. You have to have great communication skills, and you have to really put each other first, and you got to really, be ready for that kind of commitment.
it's a lot of work.
To me, it doesn't have to be work. In this play, there's a line in this play that says, if, love, you got to be willing to die for it, and it's got to be something that you want that passionately. And I think if you have that, then that's something special.
Yeah.
And until I find that, I'm not going to do it because I don't think it'll work.
Well, this play seems to be something special to you.
Oh yeah, listen, I've never seen a writer really combine the funny stuff with the important stuff of relationships, and then you got a character like Carl who makes all of it funny. And when I say really, if there's ever been a play that's come through Chicago that you really want to have a good time at the theater, this is the play.
So it's playing or you guys are having the play at Erie Crown Theater.
Yes.
And what days can they check it out?
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and
one
Saturday.
show Friday and 2 shows Saturday, 3 and 8, I think.
And that's it for Chicago.
That's
if
it for Chicago.
they miss it.
Well, we're going to do so well in Chicago that we'll be back in the fall.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But no, all jokes aside, all my fans and family, if you haven't gotten your tickets, you really should. And I promise you, meet me in the lobby after the show, and I tell you, because one of my mentors came to the show last week in LA, and he was sitting right up front. He's known me since high school, and I just knew he wasn't gonna like the show, because he didn't like anything. He was roaring, laughing, crying. It was crazy.
That's great.
So that's a barometer for me.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, enjoy yourself. I know you've had a busy day today. You guys have been running around.
Yeah,
So I'm impressed.
we've been on the road.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a break for Easter,
Okay.
but when you hit the road, you have to, the publicity and, you have rehearsal and, keep the show really tight.
Absolutely.
Now, what about you? You married?
No, I'm not married.
After you see the show, you think you're going to go out and get married?
I haven't. No one will propose to me. So
Nobody will propose?
No. Yeah.
Okay, why?
This is about you.
That's why I love this show. If you really want it, I'm telling you, this show, when you leave this show, people left the show last week in LA and they called me, Cliff, I'm not sure if Carl's perspective was right, but then I think the other young lady's perspective was right, and then Terrell's perspective. So it's one of those thought-provoking plays.
Yeah, I feel it, and I'm now feeling on the spot. Okay, everybody knows nobody loves me.
Nobody loves you. Well, you seem like a nice young lady. Take your time. God will send the right person to you.
Yeah,
Don't rush
absolutely.
it.
I'm taking my time, but please, everybody, check this play out. Married but Single.
Yes.
It's a crazy title, but I love it.
Married but single.
Yeah, it's like an oxymoron.
Yeah, it's not a good thing if you're married.
And yes, at the Erie Crown Theater, Friday and Saturday.
Yes,
All
and
right.
great show, really. Thank everybody in Chicago. Come get those tickets. We sold out in LA and DC, so I know y'all not gonna let them top y'all in Chicago. Come on out. Love y'all.
Thank you.